That strange hump on the Boeing 747? It's one of aviation's most recognizable silhouettes, yet few people know it wasn't designed for looks at all. In the late 1960s, while the world dreamed of faster and sleeker supersonic jets like the Concorde, Boeing was quietly betting on something very different. A plane that didn't chase speed, but scale. To most in the industry, it sounded insane. Why build a massive subsonic aircraft when everyone believed the future belonged to supersonic travel? But Boeing's engineers saw something others didn't: the potential for mass air travel, not just for the elite, but for ordinary people. What started as a risky engineering project soon became the boldest design gamble in aviation history, and that odd little hump at the front would become the unlikely symbol of it all. During the late 1960s, aviation was chasing a single obsession: speed. The Concorde promised to slice flight times in half, and nations were racing to build their own supersonic fleets. Everyone believed slower, heavier jets were finished. Everyone except Boeing. Inside their Seattle design rooms, engineers proposed something completely counterintuitive: a subsonic aircraft so large it could carry hundreds of passengers at once. The reasoning was simple but visionary. If supersonic jets ruled premium routes, someone still had to move the masses affordably. The result was Project 747, a bet so enormous that Boeing risked the company's future on it. At first, critics mocked the idea. The plane was too heavy, too expensive, and too unconventional. Yet Boeing pressed on, convinced that the future of aviation wasn't about going faster. It was about flying more people, farther, for less. To prepare for a world where the 747 might one day haul freight instead of passengers, Boeing's engineers devised a clever trick. They raised the cockpit above the main deck, creating enough space for the aircraft's entire nose to swing open like a giant cargo door. It was a purely functional decision. Nothing about style or prestige. That elevated cockpit gave the jet its strange, distinctive forehead. At first glance, it looked awkward, almost accidental, but it solved a crucial problem. It allowed the plane to transform from a passenger liner into a heavy-duty freighter within hours. The hump wasn't an aesthetic flourish. It was a survival strategy. Yet that practical decision would soon evolve into one of aviation's most luxurious and recognizable design signatures. Enter Juan Trippe, the visionary founder of Pan Am. When he saw Boeing's odd-looking prototype, he didn't see cargo potential. He saw prestige. Trippe pushed Boeing to stretch that hump into a graceful teardrop shape and transform the upper deck into a first-class lounge suspended above the clouds. Suddenly, that once awkward bulge became the most exclusive room in the sky. In 1970, Pan Am's inaugural 747 flight from New York to London took off, marking the dawn of mass international travel. For the first time, long-distance flying wasn't reserved for royalty or executives. It was accessible to teachers, students, and families. The 747 didn't just connect cities, it connected worlds. Inside, passengers sipped champagne in a curved lounge that seemed to float above the earth, unaware they were witnessing the birth of a new era in aviation. But even legends faced turbulence. The 1973 oil crisis struck like a lightning bolt, threatening to ground the aviation boom. Fuel prices soared, airlines panicked, and efficiency became the new holy grail. Boeing refused to let the 747 fade into history. Instead, it evolved. New variants emerged. The 747-300 and 747-400, each with more efficient engines, lighter materials, and stretched upper decks that packed in even more passengers. These upgrades cut costs per seat and allowed airlines to keep fares low while turning profits. The 747 transformed from a luxury liner into an economic powerhouse. Its silhouette became a global constant, from crowded runways in Tokyo to dawn departures over JFK. Every improvement, Every tweak to that hump reinforced Boeing's genius, adapting under pressure without losing its soul. Decade after decade, the 747 carried presidents, pilgrims, and pioneers. It hauled cargo for NASA, served as the US president's flying office, and ferried satellites, horses, and even entire spacecraft across continents. It was the queen of the skies, reigning unchallenged for more than 30 years until Airbus unveiled the A380 in 2007. Yet while newer aircraft surpassed its size or efficiency, none matched its cultural impact. The 747 became more than a plane. It became a promise that flight could unite the planet. Even its modern successor, the 747-8 Intercontinental, carries the same spirit, blending Dreamliner technology with that timeless shape. So next time you see that distinctive hump cutting through the clouds, remember, it's not just an engineering quirk, it's a monument to human ambition. A reminder that sometimes the boldest designs are born from uncertainty and end up defining an entire century of flight. And if you love uncovering the hidden stories behind aviation's greatest machines, help this channel climb higher. Hit subscribe, give this video a like, and share your thoughts below on which aircraft you'd like us to explore next. Every comment fuels future uploads, and every new subscriber helps keep these deep dive stories flying strong.